Hi, everyone, and welcome to the SFFL LM Note for Week 8, joined by the one of the greatest members of the SFFL, AJ Friend. How's it going, AJ?
I'm good, Steve. How are you? Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you on. I've cooked up a little game for us today because for those of you who aren't in AJ's league, which I realize is everybody but me, every week AJ has an LM note, and a lot of the time it's accompanied by some sort of game that's like centered around getting to know each other a little better, guessing people's favorites and stuff like that. I love that aspect of it. I wanted to bring it to the SFFL, and so. We've got a little guessing game for you going forward here, but let's kick this off with some weekly awards. How about that?
All right, let's do it. I'm excited for this game.
All right. Performance of the week. I'm sure you can guess was Ty. I had to give this out to him. 160 again on Joe. Joe put up a pretty solid, I think it was like 121. Pretty good performance there, but I mean, Ty looks unstoppable here.
Yeah.
But our underdog of the week is yours truly.
Let's go. Let's
Beating
go.
Burrow by like 50 here. Who would have expected it? I'm sorry I didn't bet on you in our matchup analysis last week. I shouldn't have doubted you.
Yeah, we covered. We covered.
That was like one of the craziest Ball outings I think I've ever seen. Some of the best fantasy defense I can remember.
Yeah, we caught Delax on a good week. So,
hmm
yeah.
And Donkey of the Week obviously is Dillax with like 55 points, I think. But MVP of the week, I mean, this one might be a little up for grabs. Nah, come on. Fuck you, Marco.
LJ.
Coming in down, I think it was 28 on Monday night, and Lamar beats it himself, throws two touchdowns to Mandrews. That was one of the happiest nights I've had in recent memory. Had to throw in two spins there for it. All right, let's get to this game. So, the way it's going to work, it's going to pop up with three clues, one at a time, and you're welcome to either shout out a guess as soon as you know it, or you can go ahead and just say skip, and I'll give you another clue. The clues are people's favorite movie, favorite food, and then favorite current NFL player. I think you're going to get all of them by the NFL player. And this
Oh,
is in order of our analytics power rankings, but they are so unpredictable. I don't think that's going to give anything away.
okay.
Let's start this off with the favorite movie, Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
All right, I got to take a guess off the movie, off rip.
If you want to, or you can skip.
Well, if okay. I mean, I guess like I get more points if I get it right away.
Yeah.
What happens if I get it wrong? I just keep guessing. I get the next hint.
hmm
All right. Well, I might as well take a crack at it. All right. I got to try and remember how the analytics were looking like last week. Did you guys change anything about them, like in terms of what was going into them, or no?
No, just updated scores and everything like that.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Terminator 2. I think that's got to be Nolan.
Mm-mm.
No.
Incorrect. The
Okay.
favorite food.
Movies are gonna be tough for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, tacos and Mexican. Um, Marco's Mexican. Can we go with that?
Well, you would be
Let's
correct.
go.
We have Pascal and Marco at number 12. And I gotta ask, what do you think of this team? I feel like 12 is a little disrespectful for the analytics here.
Oh shoot, I'm not gonna lie. Like, wait, you can still see me, right? I'm on sleeper now, so I can look.
Yeah. hmm
I'm not gonna lie. I thought we were going like top to bottom, but it makes sense you're going bottom to top. Marco's got a good team, so I'm a little surprised that he's at the bottom. I will say that like Javante looked good last week. He gets Devontae back. Well, I guess he got Devontae back last week, but he'll get better as the season goes on. Neighbors is back. So Marco had a lot of guys that were kind of sitting out. So I can see why his rank would be lower than where it should be. But I mean, what is he? He's 4-3. I think this should be a competing team. He's got a good chance at a Super Bowl run. But knowing Marco, he'll probably find a way to collapse in the playoffs. I mean, it took him a while to figure out how to get to the playoffs, and now that he's figured out how to get to the playoffs, he hasn't done anything with it. I don't know. I guess last year might have been his first or second year in the playoffs, but he's got to learn to win. So we'll see if this is the year that he finally gets over the hump. It
Wow,
very well could be.
some shots fired at the Marco team culture over there at Posh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well, but he is a good manager and he's got a good squad this year. So,
yeah,
uh, yeah,
we'll see how it turns out. Our next player, we have favorite movie is going to be The Gentleman, which is one of the
that's like
most
mafia.
offbeat takes.
Is that like a mafia movie?
It's about I'm pretty sure it's about like the weed empire kind of thing. This was a movie that
Oh,
released right before COVID hit, and it's I believe Matthew McConaughey starring.
I feel like this has got to be. I mean, it's at the bottom of the league. It's got to be Ponks, right?
Wow, he's killing it. Favorite food steak, favorite player Baker Mayfield, which also surprised me. Yes,
Yeah.
this is Harrison Deep Walls 2024 with a delightful picture of Baker taking his in there. Um, this team puzzles me so much because the numbers and the eye test just really don't agree for me.
hmm
I don't know. What do you think of Jack's team?
Well, also, I know he's a Baker fan because I remember at one of the hot ones he wore a Browns Baker jersey.
Oh yeah,
It was
dude, I
like I think
remember
it's the
that
first
too.
one. The
Yeah,
first one.
that was interesting.
Yeah. But I mean, I will say like Jack has some like good pieces, but then like they're just kind of few and far between. Like if he still had DJ Moore and Kyron, this is for sure a playoff team. I don't know, like, how many more wins he'd have, but the outlook of his team would be so much better. I mean, even if you would have just traded for Jonathan Taylor, he could have traded with me. I mean, Taylor would have been out, so he probably would have been screwed. But Taylor's outlook is better than Ramondre, so I
Hmm.
don't know. That was just a bad trade. But Gibbs is good. McLaurin is really good. I like those two guys. But I mean, after and Bowers is good. But after that, I mean, he's kind of just, I don't know, throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. I think like hopefully McMillan's good now that Godwin and Evans are out. But like, I don't know. I mean, Goddard's pretty good, and Evans' injury is unfortunate. But I don't know. I think Jack is kind of bound for hot ones again. It seemed like he hit the panic button a little too early in the season and did what he tends to do and made a questionable trade. But Jack, I'm wishing you the best.
Yeah, if only that questionable trade was with me or you.
But
That's one of the worst. Yeah, Jack's still putting up like decent numbers, it seems like from week to week. I think he put up 120 last week and maybe like 150 the week before, which is why it's bizarre to me that he is not like horrible. I feel like his team just looks so bad and
yeah,
it ends up finding ways to come together. I think he had 35 points from defense and special teams last week, though.
that's impressive. Yeah, I guess he's got the Giants against Carolina this week. That's like we'll see how that goes for him. But
Yeah. Our number 10 here is you. I threw in a picture of Caleb here, but I want to ask you live, man. Favorite movie, favorite food, and favorite player. I have some guesses though.
I'll let you guess.
Okay, favorite movie? I can't remember. I think this might be a little outdated, but I remember it being The Sandlot.
Yeah, it's still the Sandlot. That's a classic.
Come on. Favorite food? I'm
There's
going
a
with the Cuban from the Sox
yeah.
Stadium. Yep, yep.
I had one
And
yesterday.
would your favorite player be the man whose jersey you're repping?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. I love it.
You know me too well. You know me too well.
Um, your team is interesting this year. A lot
It's
of
just
injuries.
disgraceful, man. It's just disgraceful, apparently.
I'm not gonna lie, I like the infirmary theme a little more, because you do have a lot of patience there. I'm most interested in your opinion on Cup. Do you think he's gonna get dealt? Where do you think he's gonna go? What do you think that does to his value?
Well, I would say I don't know. I was hoping if he got traded that he'd get traded to the Chiefs just because I have Mahomes and that'd be kind of a gnarly stack. But with your boy D Hop going, I don't see him going there. I kind of hope he goes to the Chargers. That would be pretty cool. I think Herb can support a wide receiver one, obviously with Keenan and even Mike Williams. I think Up could take over the Keenan role. So I hope he goes there. I don't really know about any of the other places. Otherwise, I'd rather he just stay with Stafford, even if Puka comes back soon. Obviously, I think Stafford can support both of them. So I'm hoping that Cup is the boost that gets me to the playoffs. I mean, it's big to have him back this week. We'll see how he does. I was banking on him 2 years ago. He got hurt for the season, one without him. So I don't think I can win without him this year. I'm gonna need him, and I'm finally gonna see if having him pays off. So
Yeah, we'll see. I actually do really like him this Thursday. I think he's going for over 108 receptions.
yeah,
Um,
I hope so.
but like week to week, I'm interested to see how that pans out. I like the Chargers take. Those of you listening, I think most of you know Lem either through the PFFL or whatever. He's like dead set that Cup's going to be a Cowboy.
Mm, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Lem, everybody that knows Lem knows he's got some interesting takes, so that would be one of them. I mean, I could see it happening. They need help, but I don't really want to see that because he'll be wide receiver too.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be weird seeing Cup in a different jersey at the very least, but
Yeah,
I'm excited to see how like the second half of your season goes. It's very possible
thank
you
you.
pull another turnaround here.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen darker days. I mean, I think the last time I won it all, I was 1-6, but I did kind of have the edge on in points for that whole year. And this year we've needed to play with more of an edge because we don't have the points for going for us. So we've needed to Zacher ball a little bit and try to find a way to squeak out wins. And up to this point, 3-4, can't complain. Hopefully we turn it around. I will say that again, the last time I did this, Ty called me when I was 1-6, the Bloomington bonehead. He said I was a bonehead. And so him saying that my team was just despicable and disgraceful and that I was throwing in the towel was the reason for the name change. We're going with just disgraceful because that was bulletin board material that hopefully will lead us on a great run the rest of the way.
I love the mentality. I love it. Next up, favorite movie is Get Out, and I will say there are actually two people who chose this as their top.
Hmm. Okay. This is going to be number nine. Number nine. Let me look.
Hmm.
I think. Ooh, wait. Okay. Did for the co-managed team, do they both get their own like little slide?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Max has read a single LM note this year, so I just talked to Dylan.
Okay, fair. I'm gonna guess that it's Dylan, or yeah, I'm gonna guess that it's Dylan.
You would be incorrect.
Ooh, okay.
The
Favorite
favorite
food,
food,
spaghetti.
spaghetti.
I mean, all right. Ball is 1-6, and he seemed, I don't know if that's cheating that I'm looking at records, but I don't know. He seems like a spaghetti guy, I guess. I don't know if he'd like get out, but he's kind of a wild card. So we'll go Scott.
It is not Ball. This should give it away though.
Josh Cribbs. All right, it's got to be Spence.
Spenny coming in at number 9 here.
That makes sense.
And I did include a little screenshot of my text when I asked him for his favorite movie, current football player, and food. He said, What would you do with each activity, or are those just topics? I said I was testing you to see if you could match the person their favorites. And he said, I think AJ would get more correct guessing favorite player.
He is
Uh,
right.
yes. Spencer's team is the Zacher Ball of this year, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I I can't see really anything I like here. I would imagine Saquon's going to continue to cool down throughout the year. It looked like he was. Then, of course, the Giants' revenge game brings him back. Kamara looks like he's kind of leveling out here as well. Just got the big contract extension, too. I don't know. What do you think about Spence?
I actually am a fan of Spence's team. I think I don't know necessarily if it's like a championship title team, but I think it's a playoff team. He's got a bunch of like high floor, low ceiling guys, so it's a team that's going to put up 115, 120, 125 points a week. And that's, the floor is raised by his good wide receiver crew. He's got like five good wide receivers that he can kind of pick and choose based on matchups. And then he does probably have, in my opinion, the best backfield in the league. Kamara is, kind of looking like he's a little banged up, or without Carr, he's just not as effective. But I think Saquon is, besides Derrick Henry and of course CMC when he comes back, probably the best running back in the league. So having those two guys is going to bolster him, and he can compete with anybody with all those guys. So I'm definitely a little nervous about our matchup. I honestly think this is a must-win game for me, unless of course I put up a ton of points at the end of the year here, which I don't see happening. So I got to beat Spencer this week, and I'm terrified of his defense he's been having of late.
Mm, yeah, I don't know. What do you think of his trade today with giving up Madison?
Uh, he traded for Waddle.
Yeah.
Um, let's see who is his uh let's see who is his third string running back. I'm looking. He doesn't really have one.
Yeah.
Uh, did did both his running backs have buys?
I don't believe so.
Oh, he probably should have held on to. He honestly should have held on to Madison. I just don't think he likes Madison because, I mean, who honestly likes Alexander Madison? He kind of just is auraless. But um, I don't know. He didn't really need another wide receiver, so it's a little bit of a head scratcher. But Waddle should
Yeah.
be good until it comes back.
Yeah. We'll see how that pans out as well. Moving on. Our next, we have favorite movie Shutter Island.
Hmm. All right. Well, this has got to be Dylan or Scott. I don't. I haven't seen Shutter Island. That's my problem. I haven't seen a lot of these movies.
Uh-oh. It's
Um.
Leo DiCaprio on like an insane asylum mountain.
Oh. Huh. Yeah. That sounds like Scott.
That is not Scott.
All right.
The
Jeez.
favorite food is chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I'm actually trying to remember. I might have to double check on this one.
Uh. Is it Joe?
It's not Joe. The favorite player, JF1.
This is Dylan.
It is not Dylan.
It's Ray. Damn
It's
it.
Ray.
Damn it.
Yes.
Damn it.
A big zero. That hurts your score here.
Oh, that does. That does. I thought for sure, like, I don't know. I knew if it was JF1, I knew it had to be Dylan or Ray. Damn.
Yeah, I Ray's team is another head scratcher for me. The Kyler Marv stack is so good in theory, but just seems to be getting worse and worse as the year goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I have Marvin in the Boy Spigo League, so I know Ray's pain.
It's frustrating. I've got him in one of my leagues I co-manage with my brother-in-law Breck, and he's been hitting the bench lately, but we do have
Yeah.
Jettis in London, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah. you're not too worried about it.
Yeah. Um, this team though, I mean, I feel like it all just comes down to that stack. What do you think of Ray's squad?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I actually think like Ray is a pretty good manager, but if there's like a team that I am looking at trying to get ahead of, I think it's this team.
Hmm.
Just because I feel like it's kind of on the downswing with I guess what did Wilson do last week? I think he still had a good week, but
Hmm.
he had 13. I mean, Devontae's going to eat into his work maybe, and like I said, like we said, Kyler and Marv just haven't been good. So unless they turn it around, I think this is a vulnerable squad that has to answer some questions. I think getting Madison today was a good trade. It's nice that they kind of him and Spence coincided in the rankings, so we could talk about that. But I think that that was a good trade by him just to get him some extra depth. Chase Brown's been good, so his running backs are good, but it's going to be all about how good Harrison is, and then if Thomas can keep up what he's doing. I guess he made a trade with Ty then too, because
Hmm.
Thomas was on Ty's team, so
Yeah.
traded Monty, and he got Pollard and Thomas, and I think that's why he's a good manager. That's a good trade. You bolster your depth. I
Hmm.
mean, I don't think it was a bad trade, but for Ty, like Ty knew what he was doing. Monty's more reliable. That's what he needs. But I think that this was a good trade for Ray, and again, he could use the depth right now, so to help him get through bye weeks and hopefully make the playoffs.
I agree. I like it. All right. Next we have our second get out.
Okay, so the first get out was Spence.
Yes.
All right, um, and I guess Scott on that one, but I'm not guessing Scott this time. I'm gonna guess Joe.
Actually, can you close your eyes for a second? I gotta double check here.
Yeah.
It is not Joe.
Okay. Um,
Favorite food is Thai food. This is an interesting take. I've never been a big Thai guy.
huh. I'm gonna go with uh I'm gonna go with Dylan.
Yes, sir. Favorite player, D-Hop.
Why I
That would
would have
have
got
given him away.
yeah.
And I mean, this team, I mean, what the fuck is going on? Going 50 points last week. It felt like they were on the upswing after a bomb in week one. I don't trust them at all anymore. They've dropped in my personal power rankings for sure, but uh, I can't figure out really what's the problem here. On paper, for me, this team looks fairly good. They're just all underperforming to shit.
Yeah. Nah, I mean that's I think we're just the like recent results we're just overreacting a little bit too. I will say actually no, I can't even say that. I was gonna say Dak has been terrible, but they have arguably the like most exciting new player in the league with Jaden Daniels. So I mean, they have really good players. This is a team that, if they sneak in, will be very dangerous. I mean, the chain, he is having the same problem as Waddle and Hill without Tua, in my opinion. Kareem looks really good.
Hmm.
He's good, but I mean, the problem is these like receivers. I guess Tillman had a good week last week, but Douglas sucks, and they really need Debo to be healthy. Debo's health and Chris Olave without Carr is honestly what's shooting them in the foot. Like they need receivers. I don't know. I think they need to make a trade or something because I don't think you can rely on Douglas and Tillman, but they should be good.
I'm not gonna lie, I think that this stint without Jaden Daniels, even if he just misses 2 weeks, I think that knocks them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, this is another team that I mean, I have the same record as them, but I guess they were ahead of me at the beginning of the year. This is another team I'm looking to pass. So
Mm,
last week was a big week for me
I
against them.
like it.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite movie? I Lost My Body.
Hmm.
I don't know if you've
Is that
ever heard of this movie, but it is somebody will never stop talking about it, and it's great.
hmm.
Whoa.
Oh,
Well, that's a shame.
uh, yeah. I mean, shoot, I didn't see.
It's
Oh,
fine.
there we go. I didn't see the name. I was actually gonna guess Joe. I would have got it wrong.
It's fine. We'll wipe it from your record here. Sorry, Jake, to give up the surprise, but I Lost My Body is a animated French film that Jake is absolutely in love with and has
Okay.
passed that love on to me. I love that movie as well. But the
Very.
Tyrod Taylor pick is very, very Jake.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. All I saw was Italian beef, and I was thinking, I know Joe like worked at Portillo's, and I know every time he comes back to Oswego, he's like, "Let's go to Portillo's." So that was gonna be my guess.
Wow. Wow.
But very cool, Jake. So that sounds like a. It's cool that you and Steve share a love for that movie. Maybe I'll have to check it out. Is it like a sad movie or?
It is not sad it's pretty sad. It's Jake's team might be a little sadder here. I mean, he was at one for a long time. He is, I believe this is number 6 or 7 in the power rankings now, which is just surprising and I mean, not to take from you here, but a little disgraceful.
Wow, wow. Care to elaborate on the disgraceful, other than that he's dropped a couple games?
The
Like
fall off,
what about? It's just the fall off.
it's disappointing. And the reason it's disappointing to me is because I regard Jake as maybe the best in-season manager in the league, up there with I think you and that's my top two. I think you two are the best in season. But what's
Okay.
always held him back is the draft, and I feel like this year
Yeah.
the draft went great, and everything's just gone downhill from there.
Yeah. He did have a great draft. I mean, the last couple of years, like he's obviously a very active manager in trades and stuff, and like some things just haven't gone his way here or there. But like when Jake has like a dominant season, like Jake is going, like it's because he had a good draft, and like he's gonna have a dominant season. He's still 5-2, and he's still got a hell of a lot of good players on this team, a lot of talent. I like Komet, Metcalf. Um, Bigsby's been playing better. Like
Hmm.
who knows what's going on with ETN. Um, he's got Jetta's like the best player in the league, arguably. Like I don't know. Walker's been great. I'm not worried about this team. Jennings should get more action with Ayuk out. Like I like this team a lot. Like
Interesting.
top to bottom, it's deep. He's got a lot of talent, a lot of number one guys. Like this is a team that I would be scared of come playoff time, and I think has a really good chance to win. I think Jake is going to be like, I would say he's probably going to go like 9-5, like
Mm.
10-4. That's a pretty dominant season. He's probably going to be like a 2-1, 2 or 3 seed. Like this is a very good team. I think that when Jake drafts well, good things happen. I'm not worried about this fall off.
Wow, interesting. I'm worried about Stroud and DK's knee. That's the only two things that really concern me with this squad.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how long DK is expected to be out, but he's got like good receivers behind him that I think he can plug in until he comes back.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll see how that pans out. I think DK's just week to week, so he could even play this week, but likely in a limited fashion. I think that he did do a great job unloading Debo. I hate
Yeah,
Debo this year, so that was a good move, and I really want things to work out for Jake. We'll just have to see if they actually do.
yeah.
Here we go. Favorite
Did
movie? I didn't even bother asking.
um. So this is just oh, it's got to be Scott because you just knew he wasn't going to answer.
Yes. Didn't ask, but probably Jair for the favorite player. He doesn't sub to the LM notes, so it's not even really worth talking about him.
All right. Sorry, Scott.
Favorite movie? Shutter Island again.
All right. This is Joe.
I think you're right. Let me double check here. Close your eyes for a sec. Just
Yep.
for 1 sec.
They're close.
You're incorrect. You're incorrect.
So I've just been spamming Joe this whole time.
Yeah,
Jeez.
you're just disrespecting the squad, I guess.
I know. And I guess I just don't know him. He's I don't know. I just think everybody's Joe.
Joe, if you're listening to this or watching this, we have a funny idea over at Blast. I actually just got it approved by Ty today. We want you to come on the pod, and we are going to act like you are a huge influencer and see if we can like gaslight any of our listeners into thinking that you're big and maybe blow up from it.
That's that's hilarious. That would be a that would be a funny episode.
I can't wait to make it happen. This
I
guy's
mean, this is
favorite
like
food.
but Joe is like a do-it-all guy. Like he could be anybody he wants. Apparently, like I think he's everybody and anyone, so he can be. All right, who is this? I'm gonna go with Nolan, the granolan bar.
There you go.
Let's go.
Jaden Reed, favorite player. The Chicago Crystal Ballers. I still think this is my favorite team to win it all this year, even though I'm pretty sure this is the number four in the power rankings, analytics wise. This would be my number one.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Puka and Nico back. I mean, or not back. Like still sitting on his bench along with everybody he's got right now. Obviously, he's gonna lose Mason, so I'll be interested to see. Like, I guess he could just roll with Chuba, but
Chuba's
I
also going to be kind of kicked down
like
the depth chart.
you got the Baba Brooks coming back. So
Hmm.
I mean, he's got so much ammo to trade for a running back. Like, I don't know. I mean, Nolan, if you want to make a trade with me, I'm looking at your team. I kind of like it, but I mean, all I'll say is like he needs to figure out what to do with Mason because I think CMC is coming back like week 10 or 11. So that's the only question mark. But this probably is the best team, hands down, most talented. I think Ty's close behind him, but
Hmm.
I mean, Jack just made this guy a juggernaut. So thanks, Jack. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thanks, Jack. Um, Pretty flawless top to bottom there. Our next our next team here. Favorite movie, A Ghost Story.
This is you.
Yeah. Favorite food is a good cacio e pepe, and favorite player, of course, is Bijan. Funny story. I was
Wait,
doing
cacio e pepe. Is that like a pasta?
yeah, it's like pepper flavored pasta, essentially. It tastes like black pepper.
Ah, interesting. Sorry I interrupted you.
No, you're good. Highly recommend it. So on Sunday, the games had just started, and I was doing some dishes with Morgan, and I saw that Bijan scored, and my stream's always a little behind, so I ran out to the living room and I was like, Bijan! But I had forgotten that I left the cabinet open, and I took it straight to the shoulder. I broke the
Ooh,
cabinet,
ow.
um, all for my love of the game. What do you think of my squad? I know my thoughts, and I'm sure everybody else does too.
Um, hold on. I was stuck listening to your story. How's the shoulder?
It's fine. I'm shaking it off.
Ugh, that sounds like it hurt, but it was well worth it.
Yeah.
Bijan looked good. All right, let's see. I mean, you have the best quarterback in the league and arguably a top five running back in Bijan. He's six right now, but he's looked good back to back weeks.
Hmm.
Dowdle, he's got good volume like recently, and London's really good. So I mean, maybe you're relying a lot on Atlanta, but like that's not a bad thing. That's not like they have the Riddler or whatever at quarterback anymore. Like it's not a bad team, or was it Dan Quinn or whoever the guy is on the Steelers, like that OC. They don't have him
Hmm.
anymore, so that's
Or
not bad. The
yeah.
only thing I would say is like ETN is probably like the downfall of your team at this point. And it's just like too bad because he was really good last year. You just had no way to know that he was, I don't know, going to be hurt or whatever this year. So that's the only problem. I would say like your wide receiver two and flex. I think you could um, figure that out with Hopkins or where like one of those Chiefs guys. Not a bad plug and play there. I think and Mandrews has been playing good, right?
Yeah, he's finally kind of on the come up there. 20 points last week was big.
He's a good guy to have in your back pocket. So I mean, he is probably going to be a top five tight end the rest of the way. So you have good players. I mean, this is a team that can put up a fighting chance, and also I believe you're pretty high up in points for, or you were a couple weeks ago when I was looking at that.
Yeah, I'm fifth overall there.
So honestly, like Steve, like at this point, like the record is what it is. Like I don't know that it's gonna like, when you start like 2-5, it's a little hard to come back from that. But the key is that you're scoring a lot of points, so you have a pretty good chance of making the playoffs, in my opinion, if you can just have some big weeks from your key guys and then support that with 10-point games from the rest. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't be too worried if I was you.
If Hop can put up 10 points a game on the Chiefs, I would cry tears of joy. That would be
I
so fucking amazing.
I think I mean, we're not far removed from Hawk being a top. Last year he was wide receiver like 16 or 17. Like it's just he had Levis throwing him the ball, like Mayo boy. Like that guy sucks.
Yeah.
So I think he'll turn it around. I mean, he's not washed, I don't think. I mean, he's not the same guy was 5 years ago, but he's still really good. So that'll be a key to your team, the X factor, I'd say.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Coming in at number two, we have The Prestige as the favorite movie. Did we
Hmm.
watch this one together in the H Cave? I think we did. Once upon a time.
What's it about?
Magicians, Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman.
Mm, no, but that should be the next movie we watch. It sounds good.
Yeah.
I like Christian Bale. Um, I feel like Christian Bale. I feel like that's a Thai guy.
It is not Thai.
Okay.
Favorite food is sushi.
Oh,
And you do only have one other person left to guess here.
yeah. So I should be able to get it. Uh, oh, this is Joe.
There you go. He's the all-American man. Favorite player is Tyrann Mathieu. He did specify that his favorite Bears player is Cole Kmet.
Oh, I like that.
Hmm.
I like that, Joe. I like the Honey Badger pick too.
How about
I,
the underdog story for this guy? I mean, he's sucked every single year, and all of a sudden the team looks good. He's made a couple of good trades.
yeah, I mean, he's 3-4, so Joe is still somehow joeing. Like this team is good. I don't know how he's 3-4, but again, this is another team I'm trying to beat out in the playoffs, and I think he's got a better team than I do, so it's a little worrisome. I've been trying to make trades with him because I really like some of his guys. He's got Tank Dell, that guy's a stud. He's got um he's got Jaden Reed, that guy. I mean, he's a little bit boomer bust, but he's so talented and he's clearly loves favorite receiver. He's got the gritty man, the other gritty man, who obviously top three receiver, probably top four.
Hmm.
And Dobbins and Jacobs are high floor guys. Like this is a really good team. This is a playoff team. He should find wins the rest of the way, but I mean he's got another tough matchup this week against Marco. So it's not smooth sailing for Joe. He's gonna have to find a way to fight tooth and nail for a playoff spot. And I think he should be able to, but I don't know. He's got to have a lot of points too, so he's probably looking pretty good for the playoffs. But the points for wild card, really mixes things up. So he's got to be in the running for that as well. But 3-4 is just not a record I would have expected from this team.
Honestly, yeah, he's lost some heartbreakers. Last week against Ty or no, last week he didn't play Ty. 2 weeks ago, I think it was against Ty, where he put up like 130 and still lost by 30. That's just brutal.
That is brutal. I mean,
And that does bring us to the last person on our list,
it's just Ty's world, and we're all living in it.
Taylor Heineke as the, oh, I swapped favorite food and player. Taylor Heineke as the favorite player, raw oysters as the favorite food. Some
I
funny takes from Ty here.
seeing how Ty plays softball, like Taylor Heineke just like kind of suits him. That's dope. I
What does
mean,
that
Ty just
mean?
like Ty's just a grinder. Like he hustles out every single play. Like he just hustles. Like he plays with an edge to him, chip on his shoulder. Like Taylor Heineke is kind of the same way. Like I mean, I'm not gonna say like I don't know, like he is the type of guy that would go out and with a chip on his shoulder. Like he obviously wasn't the starting quarterback when he first came onto the scene in Washington, and he just like grinded his way. He almost beat Tom Brady in the playoffs. Like the dude's just a grinder. Fun to watch, honestly. Like I kind of like watching Taylor Heineke sometimes. Like I don't know. I just see the comp.
I see it. I get what you're saying now. That said, I don't know. He's fired. He's too good, and that I mean, this team is without holes. So
Yeah, I will say like I think Ty is probably my biggest rival in fantasy football. Um, love the kid to death off the field, but on the gridiron and fantasy, I hate him. I hope this team loses again, but Ty is a really good manager, so there's no telling how good this team can be the rest of the year. But he is another guy like Marco who's got to find a way to win it. He's made the championship, I think, twice. So this should be his year, but there's a bunch of other really good teams in the league. So he's just got to find a way. I mean, Nolan's knocking on the door, and Jake's knocking on the door. Joe's knocking on the door. Like it's up all up in the air. I don't think he's just going to run away with it. But having Derrick Henry, having Baker, who's QB2, surprisingly the most consistent wide receiver in the game among us, and Joe Mixon in the high-powered offense. I mean, those are four damn good players that any of us would want to have on our team. So Ty's doing a damn good job.
you know what? I really foresee for this team. Do you remember when Nolan was just far and away the best team that one year? Like outscored everyone, and then
Yeah,
he dropped one game. I feel like that's coming for Ty.
that was the year. That was the year that I won. That was the Bloomington Bonehead year. I somehow managed to beat Nolan in the semis when I definitely should not have.
Wouldn't it be so funny if just disgraceful takes down Among Us and then like
I
round?
would love that. That would be
I
cinema.
would clown him for years and years. Ty, good job though. Great team. You've heard me say it every week now, so
Yeah.
I can't be too nice. Well, I think that does it. Honestly, I'm planning on leaving out a matchup analysis here. We did some pretty lengthy reviews of each team, so I think that's enough for people. And
Yeah.
thanks for
Sorry, I
coming
was
on.
yapping.
No, dude, I think this went great. I'm glad you enjoyed the game. I will say you got 34 out of 50 possible points, so a little
I'll
rough.
take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
A, a lot of Joe sandbagging there. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, thanks for taking some time and for letting me use your Zoom account so that we didn't have to shoot this in two recordings here.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean, good luck the rest of the season.
Right back at you, Steve. Thanks for having me on, and good luck to everybody this week. Love y'all. Peace.